Hi, everybody.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pounds and Inches. I'm Ryan,
I'm Bethany.
and today we are going to be talking about Dice City. But first, we want to give you a quick update on our health. Last week, we ended the Board Game Geek challenge of our weight loss challenge. I managed to hit my 6% goal, which is great. And then immediately after, I imploded, gained some weight back, and I'm just a little bit frustrated with that. But that's why we're doing this review, is we wanted to get back connected with you guys, connecting with the games, get back to our purpose, and hopefully get remotivated and reset a little bit. How about you?
I had said earlier, a long time ago, that one of the things I was striving to do right now was simply to re-educate myself. And I feel like I've accomplished that. I have read multiple books, and I have really gleaned a lot of information from that. So now it's just the practicality of it, of implementing what I've learned here on out.
Yeah. All right, so enough about that. Let's talk about Dice City. So basically, the kind of background, the theme of the game is we're all in charge of this little city represented by the board. And over the course of the game, you are going to be either buying new buildings for victory points, or you're going to be fighting off bandits for victory points, or you're going to be shipping off goods for victory points. The game goes until someone has either filled up the part of their board, or you run out of bandits, or trade ships, or run out of this giant deck, which doesn't happen very often, at least in our games. So that's kind of the background of the theme. So how does it work? Just really quickly, at the beginning of your turn, you've got 5 dice on this kind of 5x6 grid. You just roll the dice on the color, like this is the black spot. I rolled a 2, so I'm going to put it on the 2 column. And you just basically do that. And the main thing you're going to be doing with these dice is wherever the dice landed, you'll be taking that action that's beneath it. So if you even landed on a resource, you get that resource. You might get some victory points or some army strength. There's also other things you can do with the dice, such as moving things around, manipulating things a little bit. If there's nothing you can do with the dice, you can take one of these little weight tokens, which you can use for getting more resources or manipulating the board a little bit more. That's kind of the main mechanism of the game. Roll the dice, land on the spots, take those resources and goods. Now what you do with those resources is my favorite part of the whole game, which is buy more cards. So there's all these different cards that you can buy, and they're basically the same thing that's on the board, just upgraded versions. So here you've got get a wood, get a stone, get a victory point, get 1 army. These cards might say stuff like get 2 army, or get 2 stone, or get some extra victory points, or re-roll dice, that kind of thing. And you can place it wherever you want on the board, whenever you buy it. So over the course of the game, you are modifying the board, modifying your city, building new buildings in it, and that is going to allow you to get bigger and better results, which you can use to get more and more victory points. So that's kind of the main thing.
And it ends when?
Yeah, so it ends when either you, there's these bandits that you can fight when you kill all the bandits, or when you fill up 2 rows of your city, or when you run out of the deck, which we talked about, or when you traded enough goods to all these trade ships. All right, so what are some things that you like about this game, Dice City?
All right, so the main thing that I really enjoy about this game is its flexibility. And what I mean by that is there's many, many different routes to victory. In the past 2 or 3 games that we've played against each other, we have played different routes that we were going for, different strategies to win. And in both ways, we were 1 point away from each other. And that shows to me viability, that you can try this or you can try that. And that gives the game a lot of life, and you can continue doing that because it's not as simple, do this. If I don't do this, then I won't win. So I really like the variability and the flexibility that this game has.
Yeah, I like that kind of that engine building feel of starting with a very small basic board and over time growing it so you're getting more and more resources so you can buy bigger and better cards and get more and more stuff. So I really enjoy that engine building aspect of the game.
I also enjoy, or it's just easier for me, the cards that you can buy make sense as to what resources you need to buy them. And that's just easy for me when I'm learning games and when I'm trying to figure out a strategy, that I can see the connection of this resource gets me this card and this card gets me this, and that it makes sense to me and that it flows. I think that's a really positive feature of this game.
Yeah, I like the playtime. I mean, this is does not overstay its welcome at all. Maybe 10 minutes per player. We can play a 2-player game and about 15-20 minutes. So it's very rapid, depending on what strategy we take, that kind of thing. But and how many times kids interrupt us. But yeah, no, this is a quick one.
And like with all games that include rolling dice in it, this also has mechanics in there to mitigate the dice rolls. So you're not helpless whenever you roll anything. You can always use it to do other things, save it. Like Ryan said, you could use this. You could use it to move a different die. And I like that. So you're not, you're not at the mercy of the luck of the, what am I trying to say?
The roll of the die, the luck,
That's
chance
the one.
factor. One of our other favorite games, Castles of Burgundy, does
Yeah.
something similar. So
Yeah, so you can mitigate that, and I think this game does that, so you don't feel like, well, shoot, what am I supposed to do with this?
right. All right. So that's all the things we like about the game. How about some things you disliked?
Okay, so this is a little weird one, but you see this nice, awesome board and all these empty spaces. Every time we played this game, I think I'm gonna fill up this board, and it never happens. I don't know, maybe we buy top 10 cards or something. I don't know, but I'm always disappointed. It's not really the game's fault. I'm just excited to be able to fill up this board, and then it never happens.
Yeah, one of my criticisms is it looks like a really, friendly family game, and it is for the most part, except for I know at least our kids who are 2 and 5, going to be 2 and 6, this would be too much for them. There's too much forward thinking and planning. The luck would be frustrating. This is too much. So it's a family weight game. It's going to be geared more towards older kids rather than younger kids.
And just to emphasize, this game isn't advertised as a children's game or anything.
Correct.
That's just the world we live in right now.
Right, and the appearance kind of looks like it might be kid friendly, but it's on the older side. I'd say at 10 plus.
Okay, and so another thing that I didn't like about this game, which has nothing to do with the gameplay at all, its components. Brian will probably take a picture of this later, but these are all victory points. They all have a different number on them, 1, 3, and 5. Which is fine, and it's good, and it's so you can keep your victory points a secret, but gosh darn it, it's so frustrating when you know that you get a victory point, and they're just all in this pile like this. You have to pick up and look at everything, see if you can do some simple math with the victory tokens that you have, and I just it's really tiny, but it annoys me every time.
One of the things about the game is you cannot stockpile resources. At the end of each round, anything in excess of one of each kind of resource, you have to discard. And I mentioned how much I like, engine building, and you can't. You're kind of limited. You are handicapped a little bit in that way. The most you can do is one of each. There's some cards that change that with one of the expansions, but I don't know. I know it's just a little bit limiting, and I wish that restriction was taken off. All right, so that's some of the things we maybe didn't like so much about the game. What's our overall thoughts? What do you think?
So there's a lot of games that we have in our collection that don't get to the table a lot. This is one of them. I don't know why we don't think of it. I don't know why other games just yell at us while this one doesn't. However, with that said, there are games that get a similar playtime as this that I can see eventually cycling out of our collection, and I don't see that happening to this. So even though it doesn't get to the table as much as we would like it to, I don't see it leaving our collection anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, this is one that, for whatever reason, escapes our regular rotation. However, we did just recently buy the All That Glitters expansion, and that did breathe some new life into it. Probably what triggered this review. It's just we were able to play it a little more often, and that adds a little bit more flexibility, some more options, some neat mechanics and card effects. So that we like that. We like the All That Glitters expansion. So overall, we like it. All right, well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode of Pounds and Inches. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel to see all of our latest content as it comes out. Also, you can go to our blog at boardgamegeek.com. It's also called Pounds and Inches, where we get a little bit more into talking about the health side of things and our journey, what we're doing there. Hopefully good things most of the time. Maybe not this week. Also on Instagram, Bethany's got a page there. BNFigs is her handle. And she's always posting cool pictures of board games and what we're up to there. So on all those platforms, feel free to like, feel free to comment. We love hearing from you guys, and also subscribe so you can see what's going on.
All right, and we are Ryan and Bethany, encouraging you to play games, live healthy, and create moments.
All right, bye guys.